Take some gains and do an income annuity. Man, it's such a good time for the strategy, man. I love strategizing about taking gains. Now, I don't take gains. I'm only 54 and I'm still burning the midnight oil, digging ditches for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still working. But if I'm about to retire, I'm retired, dude. There's no better feeling of satisfaction, in my humble opinion, than to take gains and lock into a guaranteed income. I used to do the strategy all the time back in my brokerage heydays. I just said, man, we got 30,000 of gains over the last year. Just lock those suckers in and do an income annuity. It's, oh man, no one ever got mad by saying taking gains. Now you could say, yeah, but if you did that at 20, you missed on the last 5 years, but you don't miss on the last 5 years of growth. That's the issue. Let me just draw you an illustration. I'm going to get you some numbers specifically here. You don't miss out on the growth. I mean, you miss them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. Actually, I tell you what. Let's do this. Look at the political calculations. We're going to go back to 2015. Right here, 2015. So there's politicalcalculations.blogspot.com. And we'll go to 2015, January of 2015, right there. All right, and now we're going to go to right now. We're going to hit calculate. All right, so the S&P 500 we averaged index without dividends. We've averaged 13.52% a year for that 10-year time frame. Is that 10-year time frame? 11-year time frame, whatever it is. We've averaged 13.52%. So if we take our rule of 72, we say 72 divided by 13.52 divided by 13.52. That means we've doubled our money every 5.5 years, basically. Almost perfect. So basically, if we had $100,000 in 2015, we have $400,000 now. We went from 100,000 to 200,000, from 200,000 to 400,000 bucks. All right, so just hear me out now. Now you're like, man, I've doubled my money. So let's take 200,000 of that and lock it into a guaranteed income annuity. 200,000. We still have 200,000 in the market. So again, we're still, when I say take your gains, you're still in the market. So now we have $400,000. All right, we started with 100,000. We're now at 400,000 bucks. I'm saying take gains, 200,000. We still have $200,000 in the market. You don't have to do 200,000. I'm just using that for an example. It's not like we're not in the market. We're just basically creating our own hedge. So let's do $200,000 into an income annuity. All right, right here, 200,000 schmackaroonies. They need to be younger. Put some younger people. These people look very old. Let's not have them that much old. 200,000 bucks, and we'll just say income start date 1 month from now. We're going to say we're 60. Let's say 65. All right, and we'll say we're gender. We only give 2 genders. How dare they? I know I say that every time I go here, and then we're going to say we'll just do one guy. We'll say it's freaking Joey Schmoey, and we're going to say get quote. All right, and we're going to come over here. We want life. Let's do load. We want life of 20 years right there. Life of 20 years. Boink, boink, boink. And the reason we want life in 20 years, let's say Joey Schmoey has, 2 kids, and if he died, so let me just explain again. Life in 20 years, meaning the annuity will pay for as long as Joey Schmoey is breathing. Could be 50 years, could be 10 years. It will pay him as long as he's alive. If he dies in 10 years, it will pay another 10 years because it's 20 years period certain. It will guarantee to pay somebody for 20 years. After that, it's only going to be guaranteed based on Joey Schmoey's life. If Joey Schmoey is dead, then the thing stops in year 20. If Joey Schmoey lives, year 25, it stops in year 25. If Joey Schmoey dies in year 5, it will pay for another 15 years. 20 years period certain. That's what you want, man. I'm just telling you right now. You want life with 20 years period certain. So here we got $11.80 a month on 200,000 schmackaroonies. I said Georgia. So we take our trusty calculator, $11.80 times 12. That gives us $14,160. Divide that by 200,000 bucks, and that's a payout rate of 7.1. Now that's on interest. That's a payout. I mean, because there's no residual amount left when Joey Schmoey dies, other than the period 20-year period certain. There's nothing left. All right, so it's going to pay him whatever I said, $1,100 a month as long as he's alive. Yeah, $11.80 a month as long as he's alive. He knows he's going to get that each and every month for the rest of his life. No adjustment for inflation, right? But the stock market deals with inflation. Yeah, that's why he's still got $200,000 in stocks. He took some of his gains off the table and locked them in. And remember, the nice thing, you don't have to do the total $200,000. You do. I don't care what you do. But not to do an income, not to lock in some gains. We've had a doubling of our money every 5.5 years. I'm just like, dude, wake up and smell the coffee, man. You don't want those gains to go away. You say, yeah. And again, I get the argument. Yeah, but I could put into a money market fund. I get all that stuff, 100%. The problem with the money market fund is you're not going to get a 7.1% distribution rate. I mean, you could create that on your own, but there's no guarantee it will be there for the rest of your life. There isn't any. There just is. The nice thing about annuities is guaranteed for the rest of your life. 100%. That no muss, no fuss. All right, so now we say, okay, so what happens if Joey dies in year 20? All right, so we take our trusty calculator. It gives us an annualized 3.694% internal rate of return. All right, so that's what we get. We get roughly a little bit more than 3.5% a year. But that's not great, Josh. Yeah, but that's if he lives for 20 years. If he dies in year 20, he gets 3 points. So we know for a fact the worst case scenario, 20 times 12, yeah. The worst case scenario is Joey Schmoey is going to get 3.694% as an IRR, internal rate of return. No, it's not so bad. So we're saying we're taking $11.80 a month. We're going to times that by 240 payments. So he'll get $83,000. He put in $200,000. He's guaranteed, either he or his estate, to get $83,000 more than what he put in, with no muss, no fuss. All right, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not great. It's not too bad though. And now let's say he lives for 30 years. We'll just use that 360 payments. Compute I. Now his IRR is 5.85. Not too shabby. See how it difference is? The longer you live, the better your internal rate of return is. That's pretty impressive. It went from 3.69 to 5.85. So if he, what do we say, 60 years old, he lives. So again, you're being rewarded essentially the longer you live. So let's say he lives 25 years. That's how many payments? That 280, 240, 360, 300 payments at 25 years. Then his IRR is, I don't know what it is, 5.093. That ain't bad, dude. Again, you're not going to freaking write home and say, look at me, Grandma. I'm the next Warren Buffett. If you try to do that, what are you doing, dude? It doesn't make any sense. All you're trying to do is guarantee you don't run out of money. And so what I used to do is to look at the portfolio every year and say, hey, is there gains to take off the table? I mean, we're not $1,000 or two, usually $20,000, $30,000 or something like that. And if there were, I said, let's just lock in some of those gains. Dump it in, get a guaranteed annuity. Yeah, so let's just do $30,000. So that was $200,000. Let's say you had 30,000 schmackaroonies here. How do I go back here? 30,000. We say, we just got 30,000 bucks. All right, update your quotes. 50,000 a min. All right, it's 50. And they, all right, 50. So we'll do 50,000 bucks. Oops, that's 40. Got to do 50. There we go. Update your quotes, and here's gonna be right here. $300 a month, basically. $300 a month on $50,000. So $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year divided by $50,000. That gives us a 7.2% distribution yield. Again, distribution yield is return of principal. I want to be very, very clear. It's not the same as an interest or dividend. It's a return of principal. That means there's no residual amount left when you die or the 20 years are up. Anyway, I think it's a great strategy. I think I'd highly, especially the interest rates are now gone higher. All right, and on top of that, just learn the lessons from the past, dude. It took forever to get back to even Steven after the 2000s. And I mean, just if you start locking in gains in 98, 99, 97, you avoided all of that stuff, dude. Yeah. Love your thoughts. God bless. Don't forget to pod that like button. We'll see you.